All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second general meeting of the Decentralized AI Agent Alliance. I'm Luke Kerner with Crypto Mondays and excited to be able to update everybody on what's happened over the last month. Most of you I have talked with multiple times, but some not so much. So just real quick, it is pronounced DAIAA for short. And It's also pronounced dough in terms of, I apologize. I did not do a good job of promoting this. So many of you found out about this just a short time ago. Going forward, we're just going to make it a normal meeting instead of having to register for it. We wanted people to, register because we've had some problems at the collective with people coming. It's probably not a big risk. And so we'll do that going forward. Again, to remind everybody, the mission here is to foster the development and proliferation of decentralized AI agents through education, activism, research, and events. And so happy Crypto Mondays to everybody. Here in New York, we're going to have Crypto Mondays Bitcoin today. Last I checked, we had 188 RSVPs. And then I'm going on the road to Tel Aviv, Crypto Monday Tel Aviv, Crypto Monday Porto, and Crypto Monday Paris. Paris, actually, that was the fifth Crypto Monday that started and grew till became Paris Blockchain Week. And that's the Monday of Paris Blockchain Week, which is a truly awesome event. In Tel Aviv, which has also just an incredible ecosystem, they're having a big event called Building Blocks. On the 27th. So a number of folks from the US are going there. So I think that's going to be an awesome week to be in Tel Aviv. And then on the Thursday of Paris Blockchain Week, so on Thursday, April 10th, this is after Paris Blockchain Week, they're having a new event. Mike Lamar, the same team that throws Paris Blockchain Week, is throwing something called Agent X, which is all about AI agents and with the focus on decentralized AI agents. And my guess is this is also going to be an awesome event. So I'm really looking forward to this as well. The agenda for the meeting today, be great if the members who didn't get a chance to introduce themselves, either because they didn't come to the meeting or they weren't members yet, if you could introduce yourselves. But to hold off on that for just a moment, then we'll give an update on kind of generally on DAIAA and some housekeeping. Then, the majority of the work at DAIAA really gets done in the subgroups. And we've had 3 of the subgroups have met. So really look forward to hearing from them, as well as from the other subgroups that are upcoming. Then we'll open it up, and my guess is there will be a lot of time for this, just an open discussion, and then we'll finish with some next steps and some asks of the members. At the first general meeting a month ago, exactly, we had 30 members, and it was an impressive logo wall. The logo wall is even more impressive. We've actually added 23 members, so there are 10 more logos to be added to the logo wall. I think the most impressive thing at the first meeting was the people who are there and introduce themselves. So I will just ask, kind of as you go across, if you raise your hand, if you haven't introduced yourself, just raise your hand. And you want to introduce yourself, take a minute. That's really, the value in this group obviously is from the members and the opportunity to meet other people who are working in the ecosystem. So, and it's also recorded, and we'll have other ways of getting that information to the membership as well. But why don't we start with Aman?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Aman Johar from Data Curve. I don't see our logo here yet, but hopefully in the next update, it should be there.
Yes, yes, it is in process.
Okay.
Mason's on the call, actually, who's among other things, works with us.
It should be live right now on the website.
Yeah, see, look,
okay.
You're complaining and it's already up.
No, not a complaint. I just
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's in process. So anyways, that didn't take away from your minute.
Sure. So Data Curve, we are building an agentic AI platform that brings together multi-party data and creates better attributes from them and specifically targeted towards agentic commerce applications. And we are a seed stage company, but we do have customers already utilizing our platform, and we support all sorts of models. The most recent model we've done is the sentient model, which is decentralized. And on the blockchain side of things, we are chain agnostic. So we support all EVM, Solana, and Sui. And that serves as our distribution and engagement mechanism with the end users. Happy to talk more, and I'll pass it over to the next one.
All right, thanks, Mon. Next up is Eric.
Hey everyone, I'm Eric Forst, the co-founder and CEO of Bloxy. We have built a no-code dashboard that is a visualization layer for agentic commerce. Makes it really easy to drop in smart contracts and wallets that you want to get alerts from. And so as our agents have Web3 wallets, our dashboard is very useful to manage and oversee all of the workflows that your agents are doing in commerce, and also to use the APIs that feed our dashboard with summary analytics around smart contract transaction volumes and sales data, and feed that into your agents. So we're very excited to collaborate with everyone. I've formed the Agentic Commerce subgroup and would love to have all of you as members. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Eric. And Eric will be talking about the agentic commerce subgroup in a little bit. Let's see. Next up is Bobby.
Hey, everybody. I am currently working with a company called AI FAQ Pro. It's an open source project sponsored at the Linux Foundation, where we're creating a chatbot to answer all of your company questions, but bringing it deeper. It's going to have different levels of security and privacy on information. So you can put your information into the chatbot and pull it back out so it doesn't become part of a big LLM or RAG system. We're looking to make that chatbot as an agent in the future, still with the private data, but doing actual tasks for you off of the information you requested. So I'm glad to be a part of this. I can't wait to learn. And here we go.
All right, great. Thanks, Bobby. And where you located?
I'm out of Princeton, New Jersey.
Okay, cool. Maria?
Hi, hello everyone. Sorry about the camera, but yes, I've been a little bit sick, so I don't look great. Nice to meet you. For the people that I haven't met, I've been in the legal subgroup, but this is my first time in the general group. My name is Maria. I am a lawyer. I am from Mexico, and I'm also the founder of Peacekeepers, which is a dispute resolution system for blockchain. And also I am the founder of Alem, an AI company, and we are building a liability protocol for AI agents. And yes, I think that's it for now. And just one question: how do I put my logo in this?
Sure. Send it. Yes, if you haven't yet, and you're here as part of a company project member, send a logo to info@daiaa.org, DAIAA.org.
All right then. I will send it then. Thank you.
Perfect. Welcome, Maria. Hey, Josh. We're not.
Engineer.
Whoop, I'm sorry. Your microphone wasn't working. Now it's working.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Hudson. I'm Web2 engineer. I used to help organize Crypto Mondays and the Crypto Mondays DAO with Lou. I'm here because I'm interested in AI agents. I'm actually building a use case that's similar to what Bobby had mentioned, a document like RAG context agent. So I have a lot of interest in that, and I'm just curious to see what everyone else is doing. So that's why I joined along.
All right. Welcome.
Thanks.
Matthew?
Yeah, thanks, Lou. Hi, everybody. Very much like Josh, I'm very interested to find out a little bit more about what other people are doing. Whilst we aren't actually members at the moment, I represent a company called Checked, and part of what we do is we have an infrastructure for verifiable data and decentralized identity. And one of the use cases as such is to explore building trust layers in AI agents. We've had some recent breakthroughs actually, using some particular frameworks for adding identity context to agents whereby they will understand a unique identifier built in our ledger. But for the time being, I'm just kind of interested to find out a little bit more what you guys are doing. Thanks very much for the invitation, Louis, appreciate it. I'm talking from the UK. I guess that's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, terrific. If anybody else wants to introduce themselves, raise your hand. If not, we will move on. Let's go back to the slides.
Yeah, I can introduce myself while
Oh,
you're
right. Hey, Albert.
Yeah, hey, I apologize. I can't turn on my camera because I'm just getting over a bad case of the shingles and it hit my face. So I've got, after a few weeks, I could turn this camera on. But my name is Albert. I'm the CEO and founder of the Bitcoin AI Startup Lab. And yeah, we basically, our main product, we help founders, we train founders to go from an idea to an investment ready startup and get them lined up for a pre-seed round. And so we've been seeing a lot more people with AI backgrounds applying to our program. And yeah, it's if anyone wants to explore the intersection of Bitcoin and AI, feel free to reach out to me. We also work with a lot of different technology providers. So if you have some kind of enabling AI enabling infrastructure, come do a talk. Maybe one of the teams at our idea stage will pick up your technology and build with it. So feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a great actually opportunity to talk. How many people you have in a class now?
It ranges from like 80 to like 120-ish, depending
Yeah,
on.
so it's a big crowd.
Yeah, it's a big crowd for Bitcoin, right? Because
Yeah.
Bitcoin is like, it's obviously everyone knows like the market cap, but in terms of builders, it's still lagging behind, obviously, like Ethereum and other chains. So
Well,
we're
tell
growing
any of your alum to come to the Bitcoin meetup tonight in the city.
Yeah, I wish I was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time. Yeah.
Well, welcome. Let's get back to the presentation. So let's see. There we go.
Sorry,
Oh, yep.
I'll have to introduce myself. Okay, Adam by name, from Nigeria, with ambassador with Polkadot and also an agent with APEN, UX researcher and AI trainer with them. So I'm happy to be here, and my teachability index is fairly high to learn a lot about what's happening over here, learn more about the agent. And thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay, Adam, glad to have you here. I think James Slusser has invited a number of folks from the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's great to have. I think you're the first representative of Africa in DAIAA, so welcome. So next up, we'll go into a DAIAA update and a little housekeeping. So as discussed, we're at 53 founding members now. I think anybody who joins in the first 3 months will be counted as a founding member. We've also added 3 new subgroups. We started with 3. We started with legal issues, data ownership, and community management subgroups at launch, and these are the folks who are chairing them. And then we added agentic commerce, conversation voice agents, and a subgroup optimization subgroup, which will be seated with started with the 5 chairs of the other subgroups, just to help us standardize our processes. So as you go from group to group, you kind of get a similar experience. And my guess is I'll also work on some other things. And so, guys, Eric and Joey, Deli, Adam, if you could put a link into the chat to your Telegram group. That's the best way to keep up with what's going on in the subgroups. And also, if you guys could pin a link to the next meeting that you have, so people know when they go to the subgroup, they know at the top, they'll be able to find out what the next meeting is. I'm really now, because of the little hiccup, very focused on how do we make sure everybody knows everything all the time if they want to. So thanks for doing that. And then in addition to 23 founding members and 3 new subgroups, we also added 1 new general meeting. So, the idea is, again, that the majority of the work will get done at the subgroup level. But it's nice to have 1 meeting a month where all of us get together, just kind of get an update on what's going on. Also, a nice way to, to meet the new members. In one of the early subgroup meetings, one of the things that became apparent is that it'd be great to have kind of a member showcase. And so, once a month, the first Monday of the month, so the third Monday is the general meeting, and then the first Monday is the member showcase from 12 to 1. If somebody wants to chair the member showcase, send me an email, lou@DAIAA.org.
Hey Lou, real quick.
Yeah.
The posts that we're putting as panelists are only appearing to the host and other panelists. So
I'm sorry,
everyone's
one
not
more
seeing
time.
the links.
Oh, so, if you're putting in links, you got to put it into everyone?
That doesn't pop us up as an option for me as a panelist.
Huh. Okay. Okay, well, do me a favor, send them to me. And then when the subgroup folks are talking, I'll put them back in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Best laid plans. And then if you don't want to lead the showcase, but just want to be showcased, again, send it to info@DAIAA.org. And we'll figure out a program for that. I think obviously it's a great benefit, I think, of being a member, is the opportunity to showcase your agents, and it's a great benefit, also, to see all this, interesting things being showcased. Okay, from a housekeeping perspective, so we've got some very brief membership forms. I will also put these links in. Be great if these will go in Notions, and so it's just a way that people, when they become members, they can go in and they can see who the other members are. If you're in a subgroup and there are people in a subgroup, it's a way to go in, okay, who are these people in the subgroup? It's not a lot of time, but something that I think will make the experience better for everybody if they fill out the membership forms. And then, we really manage ourselves through a main folder with a bunch of other folders in it, and then one really main doc called the DAIAA main doc. So I'll put links in here as well so that everybody can get access to those things. And so hopefully most of the questions can be answered just by going there and being kept up to date. So it is time to move on to the subgroup updates. And let's start off with Eric.
Okay, hey everyone. So the Agentic Commerce subgroup has had 2 meetings so far, and we meet on Tuesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Let me just pull up the agenda points you had there, Lou, just a second. And currently we have about 26 members. And if you'd like to join, please share your email and I'll add you to the meeting invite. The purpose of our group that we've defined so far is to share best practices, interoperability standards, and frameworks for agentic commerce, emphasizing decentralized transactions. Our group seeks to support other platforms by aligning on key issues around payments, verification, interoperability, and leveraging AI agents effectively. And in terms of our progress to date, some of the key highlights are around defining this initial purpose, clarifying, that we're going to advance best practices, and that we don't necessarily want to be a standards setting group, where we've been working on just having a common definition of what agentic commerce means. And so it's really just about any AI agents that are buying and selling stuff. And we developed a consensus around focusing on these practical problems related to payments, interoperability, and agent-to-agent transactions. But we also want to account for agent-to-human, Web3 agent to Web2 agent, and all of the aspects of agentic commerce. But of course, our emphasis is to educate and advance and advocate for Web3 agents. Some key takeaways, let's see, they revolved around the things we just talked about, but the idea that payment mechanisms are central to agentic commerce, and that crypto, especially stable coins, will have a favored status because of immediate settlement, irrevocability, and efficiency over traditional bank rails like credit cards and traditional banks. That decentralization matters strategically, but we need to have this practical interoperability with other agents. And there's a lot of consensus around this role as an education and collaborative forum. And so we've decided that a real focus for tomorrow's meeting and the meetings moving forward will be to have members of the group doing demo sharing for the first half of the meeting or so, so we can really understand all of the members of our group and look for partnership opportunities, and also so we can give each other feedback on the products we're building or have launched to make them more interoperable and compatible with other members of the group. So yeah, that's I would say the summary on agentic commerce. Lou, let me know if you guys have any questions or comments, or if we just want to move on to the next one.
No, that was great. Thanks, Eric, and I look forward to.
Eric, what time did you set it? It's Tuesdays at what time?
It's Tuesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. There was a typo in the LinkedIn post.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
So I just put in the data ownership link, and I'll put in, Eric, if you put in yours. Yeah, I'll put that into the grid. Everybody else didn't get it. And Delhi, you're up next. Data ownership.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Delhi here. Bear with me a second. I'm going to share my screen. All right, yeah. So data ownership subgroup, basically looking at all issues around data ownership. So this was the agenda that we sent out beforehand. And by the way, this is all in the data ownership Telegram subgroup. So you can see this document here. I thought it most useful to just walk you through this document so you can understand what you're seeing when you see it. So effectively, the first tab here is the agenda. So we basically introduced ourselves. And the first question that I thought it was really salient for us to ask is data ownership fundamentally important for agentic AI? And we had a bit of a sort of round conversation around that and basically concluded, I mean, it's sort of an obvious question in many regards, but it seemed like it was pertinent to get some grounding and common consensus around why it's important. And I think the most kind of where there was most alignment was around the idea of accountability, that through ownership, we establish a degree of accountability for AI agents specifically. And then in terms of this group itself, what its vision is, that was kind of the next question. And then basically how we position for success. In terms of the actual meeting itself, so what is this? I think there's about 10 of us. I think that's about 10 or so that attended, with some people from other groups. Eric, of course, was great, had a great participation, and we anticipate that people will join multiple of these subgroups as well and move between them as time permits and as interest peak and wane across different areas as well. So again, as I say, purpose really was around this thing about accountability and traceability. For the group itself, I think similarly, we agreed that while we see a role for ourselves in driving standards and driving even policy and advocacy. We're not necessarily a standards or policy group. And ultimately, those things ultimately come down to adoption. But where we saw a role for ourselves is becoming a think tank for the space and really for the industry more generally as well, becoming a think tank. As a result of that, producing artifacts, i.e. reports, on a quarterly basis that reflect the issues that we're discussing in the subgroup that are important to our members and to the industry as a whole. And that drove us into areas around ethics as a big subject area overall. And we came to a consensus view, which is often very polarized in the privacy data industry, around data as property and this issue around property rights. And our general sort of consensus as a group, Brittany Kaiser had a lot to say about work that she had done previously as a human rights lawyer and in advancing property rights. And our consensus view generally here was that property rights give us the strongest protections in law around data ownership. So that we see an important role for us to play in that. And I think that these particular 2 points around ethics and property rights will probably be the subject of our first report that we aim to produce in the space that will really sort of outline our views around that specifically. The other points that came up were that in terms of the group itself, we could do a better job of getting more inclusivity, particularly around women, having more women in the group. So I noticed I'd love to reach out to all the ladies on the call today to potentially join in. I know that many of you have got a lot to contribute to this particular area space as well. So we'd love to see you join future meetings. And also from a cultural and racial and national kind of geographic diversity perspective as well. So again, thanks to James from Polkadot, who's done a great job of bringing lots of Polkadot people into the group, into the organization as a whole. And we'd love to see more participation in the data ownership category there as well. Frequency-wise, we agree. Likewise, I think we agreed that longer term we aim for about a meeting a month, but in the short term we might probably move that to bi-monthly to gain our footing. And as such, the next meeting is scheduled for the 26th, I believe, of March. The date's pinned in the subgroup as we just recommended, and we'll get into more detail around specific roles, but I think definitely producing these artifacts that represent thought leadership in the space will give us a regular drumbeat in terms of outputs from the session. So we'll work on who can assist us with that, and obviously which agents can assist us in that process as well.
Okay, thanks, Deli. You can stop share. Thanks. So apparently, in order to get into the subgroups, links that I've put in, you need to be in the main Telegram group. If you could both either put your Telegram group here and we can add it, or also if somebody go to the Telegram group and put the link in here, and then we can share it. So, then once you're then a member of the DAIAA Telegram group, then you can join the DAIAA subgroups. Let's go back to the presentation. All right. So those are the 3 subgroups that have had a meeting. One subgroup that might want to say something, because I know they're having their first meeting. I think tomorrow is a conversation voice agent. So
Joey's not here, but I could give people a quick.
Sure.
Did you want me to do the legal one too?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's okay. Just want to get it in if you want.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yes. There was a third one to go. Peter, I'm sorry. Just wait a minute.
No, go for it, Adam.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure we get this in. So the legal subgroup met last Monday for the first time, and I think Lou will paste in the chat. We're going to meet the Mondays before this meeting. And so I think technically that is the second Monday of the month. Every month we will have our legal subgroup meeting. Lou will place in the chat. You can email me for the invite.
It's actually the third Monday.
This is the third Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
it's yours to the second. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
legal subgroup will meet on the second
before.
Mondays. Yeah, the
Okay.
week before. In our first meeting, what we talked about, we talked about a lot of stuff, up to and including, you know, maybe one day creating an agent who can help people with these relevant legal issues. But we thought the first step should be to do our own research and learning about everything from, you know, maybe just to say a few different ways of looking at it, you know, the current legal context and environment for decentralized AI agents, theories, cases, future direction, issues we're currently facing. So the folks in the group, you know, if anyone here is facing legal related issues for decentralized AI agents, you know, let us know or come join the group so that we're collecting the issues that we're facing, maybe definitions even, you know, what is a decentralized AI agent from a legal perspective? What does that mean? What makes it different from a person acting on chain or in a decentralized manner? And then what are all the liability issues? And, you know, what do we envision either today or in the future would be that liability framework? And how do you hold a decentralized AI agent responsible or liable? Or how should the people who launched it or in some way manage it be held liable for what happened? So we're going to start by doing that research. And actually, the way we want to do that is by partly by creating a great prompt for an AI chatbot, you know, one of the new reasoning models or something like that to help us write a really good research paper on this, or something like a research paper. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a document. Once we have the DAIA Google Drive, we're going to create a document to start gathering our prompt in a sense. And we can include in that, you know, our own ideas, the questions we're asking, the things we want to cover, et cetera. And then we'll start running that through and seeing what kind of results we can get as our first big step. So again, please feel free to join us. Anything related to legal issues for decentralized AI agents is going to be potentially relevant for us. And we're obviously just getting started, so we can always adjust our path as well for the interests of new members that join us.
All right. Thanks for that, Adam. And yeah, I'll just mention, or Deli, you know, one of our members, KBAI, you know, they're actually, you know, we're working with them and they're gathering, you know, data from the collective. Deli, I know you've been working closer with them.
Yeah, sure. So KBAI is basically a knowledge bank. KB stands for Knowledge Bank AI, and they're basically creating a knowledge base that effectively we can use as a framework. We're still early in the experimentation process, but we effectively are aggregating a lot of Crypto Mondays content and, you know, videos and blog posts, etc. And then this knowledge base should effectively then give us a resource that we can then feed to our agents. And we're looking at integrating it with iCube so that we can put protection, have private, some elements of this knowledge public, some elements private, some components shared with members only, some components, you know, for complete public consumption, etc. Some for management even, for example, or just as need be. So that's a work in progress, but we're looking to use it as a basis for Agent Monday. Specifically as well. So I think we've got to the first stage of ingesting a fair amount of data into it. And now we'll be looking at how we deploy it and utilize it. So stay tuned. Obviously, I would just, you know, we're at very early stages with all of this stuff in terms of really fixing the plumbing issues particularly. But this is an important one that I think will serve well as a basis for DAIAA overall in terms of being able to ingest knowledge and make it available to agents.
Yeah. Did you ever play that drinking game that you had to take a drink every time somebody said it's early? A lot of drinking.
You know, I mean, it's an odd thing because I think we're at this strange time where expectation is almost exceeding capabilities of the technology, but they'll catch up very quickly. So we just always have to manage that in terms of what we can
No,
do.
definitely. And just real quick for those who don't know, so Monday is the open source community management AI agent that Crypto Mondays is building. Yeah, and anybody will be able to use it, white label it. So we're calling it Monday for Crypto Monday. And the idea is if we're all on the same open source platform, there are massive advantages to everybody, both the projects and the community members. And so let's see, finishing up, and we're getting to the end here. I'm sorry, we're going to go to yes, Joey or Pete.
Yeah, so Joey isn't here, but I'm going to be working with Joey Seaman to head up the conversational voice agent subgroup. And I mean, voice is one of those areas where it's very likely to become the way most people interact with AI as the preferred means and the preferred interface. And, so it's super important that these conversational voice agents are handled, as Deli mentioned, in an ethical way. Because, hey, if it's not clear to you that this is not a human talking to you or that it's mimicking someone else's, voice, Lou calls you up and says, hey, I need you to come, bail me out. I need $500. Send me some Bitcoin. You might think it's Lou. It's really a scam. So there's a lot of interesting aspects to what's going to happen. And then this also piggybacks off of what Deli was saying about data ownership. I think that's really central to all of this. And with decentralization, where we need to move from a model where it's a CRM model, where companies are just collecting our data and marketing to us, and now we're these agents where we own and control our data, and these agents serve us to help us, move to a VRM model, a vendor relationship model, and they help us find the right agent, help us find the right vendors. And so, join us for the kickoff meeting. There's lots of interesting things going on. We're going to sort of show you some demos of just how human-like these AI agents are. And how scary, it is, and how 98% of the people don't even realize they're talking to an AI agent at this point. So this is a thing where, hey, yes, we're early. Hey, I'll have a drink, but like this is really practical, like right now. And as we move on, these things are going to be able to handle more and more complex transactions and interactions. But they're at a point now where they're able to hold two-way conversations. In a really sort of amazing way. So I hope you can join us and learn and share, especially if you're working on any other AI related projects where you're contemplating adding voice to it.
And you've got, how many people do you have signed up already for the meeting?
I think we have 27 right now.
Which is already starting to get to be a large number. But how many of those are already members of the DAIAA?
Maybe 5 or 6 that I know.
Okay, and the others is just obviously this is where you guys are very immersed, or lots of other people who are super immersed.
Hey, just since I last checked, you guys must have followed the link. We're at 29 now.
Okay, great. So, and we'll see. I mean, the reason for also setting up this subgroup optimization, right? As these groups get large and, then they take on lots and lots of problems, right? How do they divide those problems up, have subgroups to the subgroups, so that we can be as efficient as possible.
Okay. And I have not created a Telegram yet, Maria, for this subgroup. I wasn't realizing that. That's one of the things actually I wanted to discuss, whether we do a Telegram, whether we do a
we're on the
WhatsApp or Slack or something.
There's a DAIAA Telegram and there is a conversational, it's been created. So if you go to the DAIAA Telegram group.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh, yeah, conversation voice. Yes, I think it's just me right now. It's quite lonely.
I'll join you.
You're the only voice in the room.
Okay. And with that, so move now, to the open discussion. The member asks next steps. Take just a few minutes at the end. So, I think we're making progress. We're growing. I think, one of the obvious things is there is product market fit here. That people want to be a part of an organization, want to learn from other people, benefit from other people. And I think we're going to be able to make, a real big difference here. So I'm quite excited. But open it up now with any thoughts or questions from any of the members. Going once? Anybody?
So how do I get to the Telegram group? What's the name of it? Conversational voice agent subgroup?
Yeah, so if you go to the DAIAA thing, the Telegram group, it's got, a number of subgroups in it. Hold on a minute. I will add you right now if you're not a member.
You first have to join the
Yeah.
main Telegram group before
So
you can join any subgroup.
I just added you, Peter. You weren't a member yet, apparently.
Okay.
So I just added you as a member, and now you can join this subgroup.
Can you put the link to the main group in the
Yeah.
chat?
Yep. Let's do that right now.
And I'd just say on this, anyone who wants to join the subgroup calls, if you DM me your email address, then I'll add you to the invite as well.
Okay.
That's on the data ownership, but that would apply to everyone, I assume, for all the groups. If you just email or DM the subgroup leads your email address, then we can add you to the mailing list.
Okay, I think I just put that in. Does that work? What I just put in there, Lauren?
Oh, it's still saying I can't join because I'm not a member.
Okay. Yeah, somehow it gave me the legal subgroup.
That was the legal one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Let's see. Should not be so hard, but there it is. Let's see. Try this. That work, Lauren?
Yeah, that totally works.
Awesome. Okay. Terrific. Got everybody here? Anybody else have anything?
I have a question actually, Lou.
Yep.
So I'm just looking through
The one person who's not a member yet. So you're going to become a member?
Well, part of it was I was going to message you privately about that as well to understand a little bit more about the membership, but it's actually relevant that this question's more about what the focus will be at the end of these groups. And I think Adele mentioned something about a report. Is the purpose to collectively put together a report on all of the findings on this? I'm just trying to understand a little bit more.
So I think, not dissimilar from Crypto Monday, the hope is for everybody to get out of the group what they want to get out of the group. The idea of the subgroups is we're all working on the same problem, so let's work on them together. And so if there's a problem that you want to work on, start a subgroup. And if you want the subgroup to write a report, write a report. But the idea here is I think we hopefully will have a flexible enough organization that we'll all be able to benefit from the others and get out of it what we want to get out of it, and everybody wants to get something different out of it. But obviously I think there's enough overlap that we can all get those different things and still massively benefit from each other.
Thank you. I'll message you privately about your initial point.
Sure. I go around giving a talk, and it's called 10 Thoughts on Community because I've been thinking about it a while. And I start with the definition, which is a community is an ecosystem where when it works, everyone gets more out of it than they give. Right. And if you're not, then you're probably not going to hang around very long. Laura?
To become a member, can you walk through what that process is other than
Sure.
filling out the link?
Sure. So that's all it is. Literally. So we've been able to grow so fast. I joke because the ask is so low. The ask is, if you're a company, send a logo so we can put it up on the logo wall and come to a couple meetings. And if you get value from the meetings, you'll be excited to come to more meetings. And if you don't get value from the meetings, we're happy to take the logo down.
Thanks.
We're not charging anybody, any money. We didn't set this up to make money from the organization. We set it up to solve all problems, which if we do, then I think, we'll all make money, or at least be much better positioned to.
I got a comment to make on that note. I just think it's really fun and exciting to finally be in a truly open AI environment when so many people are using this term open AI, and I'm not pointing at anyone specifically, but sincerely, but generally speaking, when there is so much talk of openness in AI, but there's so much closeness and kind of this siloed interest. It's just really fun to be in a community and group that is truly open, where there's no barriers to entry, where anyone can join and become part of, and anyone can do anything. And I personally am finding that very exciting and refreshing at this moment.
Yeah. Grazie. Yeah, me as well. I mean, not only is it fun, but it's also vitally important.
It is.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody here feels that way. Okay. Well, I'll open it up to the floor again one more time. Going once. Twice. Okay, everybody, you get 10 minutes back. Thanks everybody for joining. And until we meet at a subgroup or at Crypto Mondays.
Yeah. Hope to see everyone
See you
tomorrow.
see you at the pub.
Mine and Eric's. Enjoy.
Cheers.
Yeah, enjoy.
Have a great week, everyone.
See everyone.